threaten again. It took the Giants just one play to capitalize. Joe Scott ran off tackle and just managed to get over the line. But over he was, and the Browns were over the barrel. And with less than 8 minutes remaining in the game,
The game is a tailback. Tony Richardson is the fullback under center. Is Steve Bono. Grunhart will snap to it. On third down and goal to go. Marcus Allen dives over for the touchdown for Kansas City. His 100th career rushing touchdown. And in the snow, the legends of Walter Payton, John Riggins, and Jim Brown wait for him. The only 4 men in the history of the National Football League to have 100 rushing touchdowns.
They're waiting for him?
Yes, they are. They've been waiting for him for a month.
Did he keep the ball? That's what I want to know.
Give him the ball if he didn't keep
the ball. What a great player he has been. Man, that's what you give it. You talk about money players. That's a money player. That's who you want the ball in his hands when the conditions are like that, and you got to go north and south.
I've got to go 96 yards for a touchdown, and probably inside the 35 for a field goal try. Mitchell. Oh, it's picked off and taken in. Touchdown, Washington wins. Darrell Green.
Cover 2.
Organization as an outfielder first baseman for 2.5 years, and then played collegiately at the University of Oregon. Peter Warrick. Oh, is he dangerous? He might be gone. Warrick turning wide. He's across the 50. Speed returning at him. They try to get him. Will they get him? They will not. Peter Warrick, the great player from Florida State, breaks the biggest play of the Bengals season. One of the biggest plays of the NFL this year. 77 yards. And it wasn't luck. He's that good. Well, people calling him the... well, they're going to look to run clock now. They don't want to... They have 14 yards pass off, and there it is. Corey Dillon, he's gone. The knockout punch, you're looking at it. Game, set, and match. The Bengals are going to win in 2000. 65 yards. The Bengals as a team go over 300 yards rushing.
Very well, but they have not been able to do it.
But they're in command of the game because of their unbelievable running. Here's Corey Dillon again. And Dillon takes it inside the 20, runs over another guy. He's going in again. This is one of the great days of Corey Dillon's life. This is one of the great rushing efforts in the history of the National Football League.
Yeah, it just became a historic day in the National Football League. We're going to compile the numbers after we get our calculator out and find out how many.
And, you know, this team, you wonder what this will lead to. Will they slump back to where they were, or will they continue to take it to another level? They certainly, with this run offense, are able to compete with anybody in the NFL.
We just said this is the all-time NFL record is Walter Payton.
For the and you've got it. There you go. We were both thinking something
exactly.
Different. Boy, that Kurt Warner thing shocked me.
Here's Manning now down the field. Harrison is open again. Holy mackerel! Manning and Harrison touchdown. 78 yards. Peyton Manning airing it out. Marvin Harrison reeling it in. 16-14, New England.
From there, Tom.
Not much worse than that, Boom.
Wayne McGarity fielding a punt. Good coverage. 59-yard touchdown. Cowboys 14-0. And the hardest hit he got on this play was the Cowboy. Rowdy, man, whatever.
Unable to play. McCullum moving from center to broad. The punt is blocked and into the end zone for the touchdown. Is Mike Cloud. These Kansas City Chiefs. Ryan Tucker gets up and stays in the game.
Flutie checking the defense from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Good protection. Goes to the end zone for Moulds. Touchdown Buffalo. Eric Moulds as Flutie strikes.
And Flutie found the mark. After 3 passes where he misfired on open receivers, the guy who has not had much work is finding it. This is a perfect strike to Eric Moulds. He's running with Robert Griffith, and that is a matchup, strong safety against talented wide receiver that the Bills will take advantage of time after time. That's not who you want.
Now Robert Smith, very little relief. 2nd down and 15. Just gets it off. Culpepper on the roll, then looks back, and he's throwing long for Moss. He's open! Did he stay in the end zone? Yes, it's a touchdown!
That he was able to keep his feet in bounds.
"39 yards, that ball in the air about 55 yards right on the end line, and somehow Moss keeps his toes in.
49ers next possession. Jeff Garcia hadn't been intercepted in 4+ games. Picked off by Mike after dinner Minter. Headed 30 yards. Touchdown Panthers. 21-6 Carolina.
Opening drive. From the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Banks heading, intercepted on the play. And Randall Godfrey, the ex-Dallas Cowboy, Breeze is in for 6. The game's first turnover rocks Baltimore and their coach, Brian Billick.
Here's Randall Godfrey on your screen. He does a great job of cutting underneath Ben Coates. Ben Coates has got to lose some ground and give Tony Banks some room to throw. Didn't look like he was moving all that quick right there. Randall Godfrey steps underneath, picks it off, and gets to walk into the end zone.
24-yard return. First place Tennessee with 13:22 to play here in the.
Went through at the end of last year and early this year, just getting a feel for the offense and understanding what's going on.
Ball's at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Off the play fake. McNabb to check to Thomason. Touchdown. The 2nd tight end, Jeff Thomason. Actually, they had 3 tight ends in on the play.
2 to that side, though. Chad Lewis went deep to the corner. Jeff Thomason went to the flat. Got it in his hands and stuck it across the end zone.
2nd touchdown of the season for Jeff Thomason.
With the score 13-7 Falcons 3rd. Ricky Williams, Tom, makes the turn. Look at the power and look at the athleticism at the end. It's a touchdown. 5 straight games with 100 yards. 14-13 Saints.
Let's watch the power and athleticism of William Rolf's going to be playing the left tackle spot. This is down at the bottom of the screen. Watch everything collapse inside. Ricky Williams has a clear corner, gets him all the way to the end zone.
And how excited is William?
First down from the 20-yard line for Gannon and the Raiders. Tyrone Wheatley. Left side, big hole. Up the middle. Midfield. Wheatley shakes the last tackler and goes for an 80-yard touchdown.
That is something the Raiders don't expect to see from Tyrone Wheatley. John Gruden says, Wheatley is my hammer guy. He goes up in there and splatters it. Watch John Ritchie, number 40. He leads it up in there. Nice solid block on Anthony Simmons. And the safeties out of position. And then Sean Springs tries to bring him down, but he can't.
Tyrone Wheatley is supposed to be the thunder and Napoleon Kaufman the lightning.
He looked back.
Stewart, that's going to get called.
So on 4th and goal, so Cleveland, their defense is much improved. They hold them to 4th down deep, but then it's Jerome Bettis, the ball.
Those are things that are killing him. Those are things that are killing Coach, and that's why Tom Coughlin looks like that picture we just saw.
Yeah. Here's Brad Johnson back to throw it. Back across the field to Albert Connell, who scampers in for the Redskins.
And that was all pass protection because Brad Johnson had time to get back there, look to his right, look to his middle, and then finally come off to Connell on his left. Watch the time that he had. Watch it. This is great pass protection. See, look, he looks to the right, he pumps, he looks to the left, then he finally comes. Albert Connell was way over here. Yep. That had to be like his 4th read. This is Mike Sellers in here now. And that's when the Jaguars are playing run awfully aggressively.
Well, they changed things around then, and Brad Johnson's going deep. And he has a man, Albert Connell. Touchdown, Redskins.
What a throw by Brad Johnson.
I mean, from the ground.
Albert Connell was doubled. And that was that thing that we were talking about earlier, that first down play pass and how successful they are throwing on first down. The Jaguars really weren't fooled. They had double coverage. They had 2 guys there. Here's Albert Connell. Watch him. There's a fake. He keeps that corner there. He goes to the outside. Then he comes back in. He really made a heck of a move there. But there were 2 guys on him, and he just beat both of them. They were just retaping his wrist. When I went to practice on Friday, he was wearing a cast on that right wrist. Wore a cast all week.
Brad Johnson hits Albert Connell. And he can run. And he does to the end zone. Connell's touchdown, his 3rd of the day.
Albert Connell having a big day. Because there were 2 defenders there. Donovan Darius was one of them, and he just fell down. And then Connell, I think it's Connell's speed that is really getting these safeties. I mean, he's taking advantage of these safeties, and he's splitting them. But here's Albert Connell here. He's going to come up, then he's going to go right to the inside. And you see the safeties right there. They just overplay it, and then he outruns the rest. It's a little block right there from James Thrash.
SC in Washington. Well, this feels pretty good. How about Reggie Bush? That's one of those wow Heisman factors.
Every single week he does something that amazes me, amazes you, even amazes Coach Holt.
The president.
Bush, Can you say Heisman Trophy?
Yes, I can. Reggie Bush, 84-yard punt return. Now he didn't break
penalty. They get an extra 15. Now they're in Niner territory, and that works out well for them. 43-yard score here to Tyler Lockett, the first receiving touchdown of his career.
Willie, you love this youngster. Yeah, we'll talk about that play a little bit later, but great play-action play.
Yep.
Getting all the defenders to step up, and then you get a one-on-one with Tyler Lockett, which is pretty tough for any defender to stop. A lot of speed. Yeah.
But the job gets a little bit tougher. Wentz throws, pass is caught! Touchdown, Boston Scott! 47 straight 4th down conversions on this drive. Perry a shot to the end zone. Touchdown! Eric Rivers! You